long distance relationships are as common as like anything these days. And people who are afraid to get into it, like you have to rethink because literally it's possible.
Alright guys, welcome back to our channel. Today you get to sit with C and R. We asked our followers on Instagram to come up with questions that they want to know about relationships, maybe singleness, dating, whatever question that they had revolving relationships, they asked and we have answers, right?
Yeah,
so,
we do.
One question that stood out to us was someone asked about advice about long distance relationships. So we're gonna get into that today. So in today's world, you never know how you're gonna meet your person. We do a lot of online stuff today, you know, Instagram, social media, online dating, and you never know where your person may be located. So that might require a long distance relationship. So don't cancel long distance love. When me and Caleb first met, I never would have thought that we would be in a long distance relationship. So
we're gonna get into some of the tips and advice that you can use if you find yourself in a long distance relationship. And these are all things that we did. Okay, so the first advice is be prepared to make sacrifices. So like, if you're gonna be in a long distance relationship, make sure to ask yourself, am I willing to sacrifice? And sacrifice looks like differently, right? Like it could be you're sacrificing a job, you're sacrificing time with your family, you're sacrificing money, you know?
Your time.
Yeah, your time. Like, and that's something that happens a lot in long distance. You have to be ready to sacrifice. And how did we sacrifice it during our long distance? Like, what's something that we did?
Well, we would FaceTime a lot, so that took away from like me being able to like online shop. So
oh my goodness,
I had to sacrifice my time like online shopping. No, I'm serious. Okay. Kind of like, yeah, you have to be willing to like really dedicate your time to this person. Like literally, I knew when we were FaceTime, like I had to be paying attention. I couldn't do other things, you know what I mean? So yeah. What about you though?
Well, definitely like the money part of it. Like whenever we would plan a trip, it costs money to like hop on a plane and fly and, you know, feed yourself and all those things. So like that's one way we sacrifice.
True, money.
Yeah, money. We spend quite a good change to be able to visit each other. And also moving, like, you know, Clarissa made the ultimate sacrifice of moving.
That's a big sacrifice.
Right,
that's a sacrifice that you guys should probably discuss in the middle of your relationship, I guess, to see who's gonna want to make the move, depending on where you guys live or what is the end goal of this relationship. So, yeah,
and having to leave her job, like that's not easy. So that's something you have to ask yourself. Am I willing to sacrifice?
So another good question is to ask yourself, how long will you guys be in this long distance relationship? What is your time frame? What does that look like? Will it be 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years? But I definitely think it's a discussion that needs to be made. That way, nobody gets hopeless, right? Like, no one gets hopeless, and you guys have a goal in mind that one day this is gonna end. This is temporary. The long distance is temporary, and I think that's super helpful to know. This long distance is a temporary feeling. So that's huge. That's huge. And I think one thing that helps you like feel good about it when you're in the process is remembering that there's an end goal in sight, and
and the ultimate end goal is marriage, hopefully, right?
Yeah.
So when you remember that, hope that this is the person that you want to marry,
True.
you know, that's the end goal, then you can actually then work backwards and say, okay, this is how long we need to be in this long distance phase, so that way we can then move into the next phase of living in the same area and then getting married. So yeah, you have to know how long it's gonna take, how long you guys are gonna be in that stage.
Mm-hmm. And what's another advice, or what's something else that we did when we were long distance to help with that? Do you remember?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I think we were very intentional with like scheduling times that we will connect.
Yes.
And you know, it's something that when you think about it, it makes sense, but you actually have to do it. Like literally, do you remember what time we always scheduled our FaceTime calls?
About like 7 or 8.
7, yeah.
Sometimes
It was like 7, yeah, but most times like
earlier,
I remember we like planned to like call each other at 7 p.m. Which is like at the end of the work day.
Yeah.
And sometimes after dinner really. And literally having that helped us a lot.
Yeah. It was something we got to look forward to and just kind of like just catch up on each other's days and see how things were going. And you just knew at 7 o'clock, like, turn everything off, or like whatever you need to do, get it done for 7. Like that helped me. Like, okay, I need to hurry up and do this. I need to shower, do this. Because at 7 p.m., like I'm relaxing. I'm calling Caleb and all that.
Yeah.
So.
It was massive.
Yeah.
And if you're serious about a long distance, you have to make that. You have to plan it out. Like, if you don't, the relationship is gonna suffer.
Yeah.
Especially because you already have a distance between you, and if you're not talking to each other, you're in trouble.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's move on to the next one.
The next one.
What do you know? Do you know the next tip?
This is my favorite tip because I like to travel. So another thing that we like to do was to plan times that we were gonna physically meet up in person, right? And so this gave us time to like plan trips and go do things together and just like reconnect. And we pretty much scheduled out the year. Like we knew, okay, this year, okay, what months are we going to link up and do things? And we knew, okay, for our birthdays, we have to link up. For this day, we gotta link up. And so we knew, okay, I could look forward to that. I'm not gonna see you this month, but next month I get to see you. So that was very helpful.
Yes.
And it just kind of kept the spark in the relationship because it's like, ooh, we get to travel, we get to explore this place and try these foods. Caleb loves food and just all this stuff. So it was good. I like that.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part of long distance.
I agree, 1000%. I think a lot of people, like, maybe some of you know and some of you don't, but like we had like a 10-hour drive between us. So literally, it's not, ours wasn't a long distance where you like get to see each other on the weekends. You know, like it's not like we're just 3 hours apart, we're 10 hours apart. So literally the only way we could see each other is to really like plan a trip in advance. So that's a big tip right there. You have to plan ahead for when you want to see each other. Like that's just a must. And it's exciting. It really is. It really is.
Another thing to do together is coming up with a project to do together. Whether that looks like reading a book together or doing a class together, something virtually. There's a bunch of virtual classes that we can take nowadays. Also TV shows, watching a TV series together, and even Netflix has like a cool feature where you can set up like a movie night or a movie
watch
party.
Watch party.
So you can like add people to your watch party, and you guys could type while the movie's going. And so there's just all kinds of things that you can do together while not being together.
We definitely did the TV shows.
Yeah. What TV shows were we watching?
I'm trying to remember now. Was that?
I think we watched The Shy sometimes.
Yeah,
we watched The Shy.
Yeah.
Did we watch Ozark?
I think we did. We watched the latest season at that time.
Ozark.
Season 4.
There are a bunch of shows that we've watched.
I mean, and movies too, not just shows, movies.
We had some watch parties.
Yeah, we definitely did.
We had some watch parties.
And the online course for sure.
We did an online course together. That was really fun.
Oh yeah, the relationship course. We took we took a relationship course.
It's a like pre-marital.
Yeah.
Is it even pre-marital?
Well, it's the course is called Defining the Relationship. They didn't pay us to say this, so we're just saying it because we actually really enjoyed it. So and the cool thing about taking courses together is like you have stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
Like we talked about a lot of things, you know, when we were talking on the phone. So
sometimes if you're taking a course, you may have homework from the course, homework that you guys can do together. All that stuff. So. We even cook together sometimes online. We cook together. I don't know if you remember that.
So this would be like bonus tips. Like we cook together.
Cooking together. We had like cooking competitions together. So it's just like being creative and doing it together. Yeah. Even though this person is not right next to you, but still, you can still do these things online.
Even like dates. Yeah, another bonus tip. Like we literally went on dates. Like we dressed up and we like did a FaceTime date.
I came up here and I surprised him.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally, that's a big one. Like just surprise your significant other like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's just like it's a whole nother level.
Another bonus.
Yeah.
Buy your significant other gifts, like
ship it to them.
Yeah, like just surprise them.
True.
Like you guys are talking and you're like, oh, I need to order, you know, this head wrap or blah blah blah. Like you heard that, right? You know, so just go order it and then have it shipped to their house. So gifts, like to show that person you're thinking about them, even though you guys are miles apart.
Yeah. Well, it really is some good stuff. Like long distance relationships are as common as like anything these days. Yeah. And people who are afraid to get into it, like you have to rethink because literally it's possible. If you love the person, then you just have to like do these things to maintain that relationship and then know your end goal. Yeah. It wouldn't make sense to get into a long distance relationship with someone you're not trying to be with long term.
If it's not serious, don't waste your time.
Exactly.
Don't waste your time.
Exactly.
But if you're willing and the other person is willing, it's worth it.
It is. So. Oh, and when you guys finally reunite, oh man.
Not reunite.
Well, like
in the long distance.
Yeah. That's what I meant. Yeah. When the long distance ends, it's one of the greatest feelings.
It really is.
Like it's one of the greatest feelings.
It's an adjustment too. Believe it or not, like it's an adjustment. You're like, oh, okay, like we're here together now. Like what the heck? I don't have to go home. Like what is this? This is weird, you know. It's weird, but it's fun.
It's like you started dating
again in person, and it's fun. You might get a little nervous again being in person. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe get some butterflies, but man, it's rewarding.
It's awesome. Yeah, so let us know in the comments, guys, like one, if you have any long distance relationship advice that you want to give to people, and two, if you are in one, like we want to know like how many of you are in long distance relationships.
Next time we have more questions to answer, and we can't wait.
Thank you guys for watching so much.
Thank you.
Oh, follow and subscribe depending on where you're watching this. Hit the like button, share this with people. Yeah, share this with your friends who are in long distance relationships. Yeah. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
All right. Bye.
Bye.